Hey everyone, I hope you're all well. So today's video is going to be a little different because it's a different topic than what I've been focusing on lately, but I do think it's an important one to at least discuss and at least something that you're aware of, okay? What am I talking about? Let me get right into this. Okay, so in my past, I had practiced witchcraft for a few years prior to finding Judy's channel. I've said this before to you guys. So at the time that I found her channel and she was talking about, black magic and all that stuff and what it's doing to you, I immediately got rid of all of it. It was causing so many problems in my life as it was. So that all had to go. That all was thrown away. It was, my ether connections were cut to it. To any spell work that I had done, all of that stuff. I went through different online communities where I had been posting things, like asking questions and advice and stuff like that. And I had removed posts and stuff and hopefully, tried to delete my accounts and did my best to, get rid of those ties. I never at the time even considered anybody that I might know that would have done work against me. That was completely unrelated to the fact that I was practicing this stuff. So what am I talking about? You can very easily offend people, I am a very outspoken person. And at a point in time, I remember, making some criticism about somebody that I was sort of, related to, but not really anymore, about their husband. And it was on social media and never gave it a thought. That person, I ended up just not talking to them anymore, blocked them from social media. It was like a whole thing, right? I mean, literally more than 10 years ago that this occurred. So I never gave it another thought, but I never even thought that person would work witchcraft against me. Never thought of it. Never even popped into my mind. Despite the fact that I knew for as long as I've known that person, they always declared themselves as a Wiccan. That they didn't believe in, Catholicism. They didn't believe in God, whatever. They didn't have a religion. They just were Wiccan. That's what they called themselves. Okay. And this person's mother, as well as stepfather, she has, because the stepfather died a few years ago, but they also have a Freemason lodge that they were priest and priestess of, whatever, I don't know. It's called Memphis Mizraim. So it's one of those occult Freemason kind of churches, whatever, occult stuff, mystery school kind of stuff, whatever. And at one point in time, I was even looking to join it. Okay. That's because I was on the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was going to give me the answers I wanted. Do you understand? But anyway, never even thought in any way, shape, or form that anybody that I knew would have worked anything against me. And like I said, this is a person that I am somewhat was related to at one time through marriage. And we do have a blood relative tie within that, from that marriage. One of my, my niece is obviously my blood relative. So, it was a little strange to me today. I had a dream this afternoon. I went and laid down. Was it this afternoon? Yeah, it was this afternoon. I had a dream this morning, I should say. I laid down for a little bit. I was really tired. So I wanted to go lay down. I had this dream. I woke. It was so vivid. The fact that I had a dream during the day was a little bit, in and of itself, the fact that I had a dream. So, and I've had different experiences like this where I will go and lay down and have a nap very early on in the day. It might be a day off or something like that. or maybe it's after work or something, and I will have very vivid, very kind of like tumultuous dreams. They're never just like fantastical dreams. They're always like some kind of strife, I guess you can say. So anyway, I don't even really remember what the context of the dream was, but I distinctly remember demanding the person reveal their identity to me, because the person was not somebody that I recognized, but I was demanding to know their name. And their name was revealed. And I was a little taken aback by that. I woke up and I was like, wow, okay. And that name was this person that I'm telling you about that was at one point related to me by marriage. So, and I had to think back, there was a time, like I said, where I said something critical of her new husband on social media. It was literally just one thing that I didn't take too seriously. It was just like pointing out hypocrisy. And it became, this person made it into such a bigger thing than it was. But she was making threats and all kinds of stuff. She was telling my brother all kinds of things, and threatening to out him for all kinds. I was like, it has nothing even to do. Like, it was insane level reaction. And at that point, I just blocked them. I blocked that person. I never looked back. It's been like 11 years, 12 years since that even occurred. So no way in my mind would I ever even have thought that this person would have done that. Because you think a normal person would just move on. But it was never even anything that I even remotely thought, oh, well, she's a Wiccan, she's going to do some, it wasn't even a thought. Wasn't even a thought, because I had been friends with her at one point, so whatever. So it was a little startling to get that name in my dream. And now normally I would tell you, don't pay attention to your dreams. Dreams can be misleading, right? You shouldn't be really paying attention to things that are happening in your dreams. But this was different. Because this was something that was being revealed to me. And that is, how whenever I suspect that there could be an etheric tie in some way, it usually will get revealed in a dream to me. And then I know, oh, I didn't cut this, and it has to be cut. And it could be for a variety of reasons. It could be people that I see on the internet, okay? Like people that I don't even know. But now they're popping up in my dream. And yeah, so that means that, they have to be cut, because that's a person that, shouldn't have that connection to me. So this was very revealing to me. Just the fact that it's been such a long time that I wasn't even aware of it, but it finally revealed itself to me. Now, I don't know. Did it reveal itself to me because I had done a cleanse and I purged some things out? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because the whole process of doing a cleanse obviously is purging stuff out of your body, whether I had stones come out or not. That still remains to be seen. There definitely was the whole process of going through cleaning things out of my body. So it's very revealing. So why do I bring this up? Because you never know who could be in your surroundings that could be doing things, right? And Judy has touched on this in the past, but she had very long time ago had made a video, like that you could have people, somebody had somebody in their house that was working black magic against them, was working witchcraft or some kind of spell against some source player, by obtaining DNA of that source player by things in the home. So, but I'm going to be quite honest with you, if somebody has a will, they have a way. And why do I say this? So what I'm saying is they don't necessarily need a DNA connection to you to work witchcraft against you. Okay. If they have your photo, if this person could have had a photo of me from way back when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. She could have taken the photo of me from online at the time. My point is that Judy has said that black magic is constantly working in the red zones. And while you may not be in the red zone, we have shells on every frequency plane. So you still have a shell in the red zone. If you were to drop down into the red zone, you would be inhabiting that shell again. You feel me? So I say that because if an etheric connection or, revoking or rescinding any black magic or witchcraft that could have been worked on you is not terminated, is not rescinded, not revoked, not sent back to the sender, that could still potentially be working on that shell of your self in that zone. That's all I'm saying. So it's interesting, and this is just what I'm piecing together from finding this out today. Okay. And I asked my source self many times. I was like, is this for real? It was either this morning or it was yesterday morning. I'm like, my days are blurring into each other because I've had 4 days off because of the holiday. And then I took a day off and then I had my 2 regular days off. So I've been trying to catch up with some naps and some sleep and just rest. So my days blur into each other. It could have been yesterday morning. It could have been this morning. I don't remember anymore. But nevertheless, I asked my source self many, many, many times to make sure, first of all, that I severed everything and that the person who revealed themselves to me was the correct person. And actually, I think more than one person was revealed to me in that as well, because I did also ask my source self about another person. And not everybody is forthcoming about the fact that they practice witchcraft or practice some form of black magic or something. You have to remember that these forms of magic, these forms of witchcraft, they stem from different cultures, right? So, Italians, Africans, Caribbean, Mexicans, South Americans, Asians, every culture, Americans in the South, when you think of like different diaspora and stuff like that, this stuff spreads and it stays there. It's an undercurrent. It's a cult because it's hidden. But if you know where to look and the signs and stuff, my point is that, let's say Italians or Sicilians, with mean streaks, people that are just, a little bit more likely to do that kind of thing. In Italian culture, there's the Maloicchio, and a lot of people in Italian culture, they wear the horn to fend off the Maloicchio. You see in Greeks, they wear the evil eye amulet, and the other, Turkish or more Middle Eastern, they have the Hamsa hand. These are all talismans to ward off the evil eye, so you think about it, the different cultures that have all these little, talismans to wear to ward these things off. My point is that sometimes, like I can tell you personally from, my own culture, my own Italian American culture, that, some Italians will practice things, but it's more like folk magic and it's not really like ritual or ceremonial. They'll just do something to you, things like that. People can put things in your food. They could get your hair, all kinds of things, or they could just cast the evil eye on you. This is my point. So it's something to be aware of. if you know anybody who could remotely be like that, if you just think things are just not right 100% with you, my point is with the video, I mean, with the dream, like I said, normally I would not tell you to pay attention to dreams. Oh, sir, you're not starving. You're not starving. Sit down, Mr. Ollie. He's such a beggar. My point is that this dream was revealing to me, and sometimes I do get things revealed to me in my dreams because of what the subject matter is. It's usually something like this. I don't pay attention to dreams as far as prophecy or anything like that. This was more of like an energetic thing. Okay, so it was something being revealed to me, and that's why I'm taking it seriously. So it's just, look, this is just something that I am posting. This is something that I've noticed for myself. So it's something that you might need to consider. You might know people who have, who have these proclivities. You might know somebody who you don't know has these proclivities and does. And you have to really, examine things that you might have done to piss people off that would make them have a grudge and make them want to do something like that to you. And, consider it possible. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to just wrap it up there. And I hope that what I've conveyed is clear. And that if you do discover anything like that, what's the matter? Come here. Come here. I'm so sad. If you discover anything like that being worked against you, to rescind it, revoke it, send it back to them, cut etheric connections, do whatever you need to do. All right? And that's it. I have to tend to the doggies because he's being very emotional right now. And you have a great day. Bye.